Welcome to Ryan Campbell Soup to Nuts! On today's episode, we are going to be working on the Murano. I'm going to be putting a new radio in there, or new to the Murano and not new to me. It was previously in the 350Z that got in the accident. So that's coming. Get out of the shot, goddammit! That's coming right up.
You are tuned in to Ryan Campbell Soup to Nuts.
Hi y'all! How's everybody doing? We are starting off in the garage because I got the wiring harness for the Murano that has to be wired up to the Pioneer. It's a Pioneer head unit. Pioneer harness, so I have to solder them together, so I figure I'll just do that on the workbench. It's a little bit easier. Then after that's soldered up, we're going to go roll out to the car, or SUV, out to the Nissan Murano. I'll do a very quick how to solder thing, but this isn't a how to solder video though, but you know, I'll just give you a quick little snippet, just a little FYI, the more you know type of crap. Right. I'm pretty much set up here on the bench, so I'm going to show you one soldering connection, and then I'm going to do the rest off camera because it's just connecting. Basically, there's diagrams and everything like that, but for simple explanation really quick, basically. Shut up! Shut up, Siri! How's her problem? Shut up! Sorry about that. So basically you just connect the like colored wires together. I did double check to make sure that they are coordinating. I looked at the diagram and make sure just double check, but usually it's the same color. So basically for the first thing, so I got blue-white here. It's mostly blue with white stripes. So you want to take your shrink tubing, heat shrink tubing, slide it on first, because once you solder the connection you can't get it on anymore. So I've been there, forgotten to do it in the past, had to cut it and resolder all that crap. You take the two wires, make an X, and then you basically wrap them around each other. I know it's hard, my hands are getting in the way here, but you get the idea. You just make an X with them, and then you just start wrapping them around each other. And it should look something like that. The camera would help if it focused. Looking at the screen over here, but it should look something like this. Hopefully you can see that. So then next step, readjust the camera so you can see on the bench. I got this nifty little holder. It was, I don't know, 10 bucks, 8 bucks, something like that on Amazon. Basically it just has a little closer here, just a weighted base, and then it just has two alligator clips. This does like swivel and articulate. Look at me getting all fancy with some fancy words. Articulate! So it has alligator clips, which I put heat shrink tubing on the end of each clip. Just to, it helps prevent, see? It helps prevent, because alligator clips have sharp edges. There's, pointy edges. Not really sharp, but pointy edges. So that way it prevents the pointy edges from piercing the wire while it's holding it. So basically, get me set up here. Make sure all the crap's out of your way. This is the work spot right here. So then, I already got my soldering gun. Soldering gun, not iron. Got her plugged in already. I have leaded solder, so that's another good reason to wear gloves, because it does have some lead in it. Lead does solder a little bit better, makes a slightly better connection. If you're paranoid about lead, whatever the case, you could use the non-leaded. It's not the end of the world. But I wear gloves a lot anyway, as you've probably noticed. So then what you do, try to keep my hands out of the way. You see the light. You can also feel it when the iron's on. So basically, it takes 20-30 seconds to heat up the tip. And then you want to go under the wire to heat the wire itself up. And then you go from the top of the wire. You just touch the solder to the wire, not to the iron, or to the tip of the gun. And then the heat that's transferred into the wire will melt the solder. Take a good look, make sure it got all the way through, So then I will slide the heat shrink tubing over the joint, grab my heat gun, and I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but you can see it visually shrink. You'll see it kind of suck in, almost like something drying up. You want to make sure you get it good all the way around. So it protects the connection. No water, moisture, anything like that could get in there. And that, my friend, is a solder joint. Woo, 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 So I'll finish doing all this wires, solder all the wires. It's a little bit tedious, so there's no reason to film that. So I'll do all the wiring as much as I can in here. There's a little bit I have to do out there for the steering wheel controller adapter. I have to solder a couple wires into the factory wiring harness, or the wiring, for wire harness, whatever. It's not the main, it's the wire harness that goes to the back of the radio. And I'll show you how to, take the dash apart. Every single car is different, obviously, because they're different cars. But I'll show you how the Murano, how you take the radio out. It's actually pretty simple. I already did it, but I'll show you how I did it. Some cars are pain in the hindquarters. Some are pretty easy. This one's pretty easy. So I'll show you how that's done, and then I'll show you what's going on with the camera. And then we'll show you the next step at that point. Got the harness all put together with some magic action. And back in the, not back in, we weren't ever in this video. We haven't been inside the car yet, so we can't be back in the car, but we're in the car now. Show you how it kind of, I already got it basically pulled apart, but I'll show you how it comes apart in the Murano. So right here on this vent piece, I hooked, I'll show you. I use the plastic trim tool. You could use whatever the hell you want to use. I don't care what the hell you use, but I use a plastic trim tool. I got under here. Basically, this whole vent piece just pops up. I didn't bother taking it all out because I didn't need to go wild. So you can see right here where my middle finger is. Again, where my middle finger is, those two holes. There's two screws that I already took out. So basically, you just pop this up, take those two screws out. Then I already took out, this is half of it, underneath. It's dark, Mommy, it's dark! So where that metal is, it's the side of the radio. So wherever you see metal right here is where the plastic covers. So it just clips in. It's nothing crazy. Ah. So this you can see, it pops, clips, clip, and clip. And there's two pieces that kind of just clamshell together. I like that word, clamshell. I'm sure there's a naughty joke there. Alright. So I just got into there and just popped them apart with my hands. There's nothing crazy. And then, after that, it's the same on both sides, but, let me see if I can get you in here, yeah. Right there. There was a screw there. Same thing on the other side. So you take those two screws out. And then once you take the two plastic pieces out underneath, there's a little like map light or whatever the hell you want to call it. So you just unhook that and just slide that out. And then at that point, the whole daddy pulls out. A little bit heavy, so It's slightly awkward, so 2 hands would be good on this, but that's what you do. Next thing, I still have to figure out the wiring. I have to call up Crutchfield and figure out the wire for this to connect the steering wheel controls to the radio. There's like an interface thing, and the instructions that came with it for the wiring aren't perfectly clear, so I gotta call and figure that out real quick. So I gotta figure that out. I'm also wiring in, I don't have it here, but I'm also wiring in a charging mount for my phone. So that way, a magnetic mount, so I could just throw the phone. I'm probably gonna put it somewhere over here, maybe. Right over here, by the crazy hand. So, hardwire that in, so the power wire will be, kind of tucked and it'll be nice and clean looking. So once I get a few things figured out, I'll be back with you. Alright, so for the radio, I'm going to quickly run you through the basic steps of what I did. I can show you all the actual soldering and all that stuff for the wires and a few things on camera because it's a little bit tedious. It's easier just to go through step by step, one after another, rather than just doing one step, watch me do it. One step, it's not a lot of fun action. So I'll show you what I did. I already got most of it done. So with what I ordered from Crutchfield, I ordered a kit, a mounting kit, which came with a new dash, bezel cover, whatever the hell you want to call it. It has new brackets. This I didn't need because I have a double DIN radio, but if you have a single DIN radio, you would use this for a little cubby. It comes with screws, hardware, whatever the case, and it comes with a wiring harness for the AC, HVAC controls, not for the actual radio itself. For the radio itself, I ordered this. This is a separate kit. This is a separate thing that I ordered. This isn't in here because I already did the wiring, but basically it has a wiring harness that connects the radio, the new radio, the Pioneer radio, to the factory audio equipment, which I have the Bose, so it has the subwoofer, amp, all the speakers, whatever. So this is like the car side of it, and then Pioneer itself has a harness that comes off the back, so I have to connect this to the Pioneer, and then one end of this plugs into the factory. And then I also bought steering wheel control adapter, which it's a little bit shiny, but steering wheel control adapter, which looks kind of, I know it's kind of hard to tell because it's just shiny plastic. Let me get it out of the plastic. Focus. This autofocus sucks a big, huge bag of ding-dongs. Like, come on. Oh, we were on manual focus. Look at that. Silly me. So that's, this is for the steering wheel control. So it comes with this, like a control box, I guess you could say, and then it has like a wire harness, and it has a 3.5mm jack that you plug into the back of the radio, and this, I don't know what the hell it's for, so I didn't even use it. I did call them and just to verify, and the tech support was awesome. I did call to verify what I was doing, what wire to connect to what. But so I got that. So that's the three things I got. I already had the radio. It was from the Crash 350Z, so I didn't need that. And then the radio, I already had the harness, obviously, from the Pioneer harness. So the steps of removal, I already kind of went through it quickly. But it does. It comes with this instruction manual, which is very, very helpful, especially if you're not good at figuring out how to take dash stuff apart. It's very, very basic and straightforward. These are actually pretty decent instructions, surprisingly. So I'm impressed a little bit. It's easy to follow. It's very descriptive. They have decent diagrams. I like it. And I'm pretty critical of this stuff. So it's not 100% perfect, but it could be a little bit better. But it does help you. So basically it shows you pull the dash apart, it shows you the new kit, how to put it together, what to put here, how to mount the new brackets for the radio itself. It goes through all that for you, which is what's helpful a little bit for me to do. I probably could have figured out without it, but this sped it up a little bit. It shows you do have to trim the factory trim bezel, whatever the hell you want to, trim ring, whatever you want to call it. It shows you where to trim. I also test fit it on the radio and see it was hitting in a couple spots, so I did that to figure out where to trim as well. So you put the screws on the side of the radio to the new brackets, and then you have to take the HVAC control box, or whatever the hell it's called, climate module. Mount the climate module. So you have to take the climate module from the Murano. Shotty! Climate module from the Murano, the factory climate control module that comes in the whole unit that comes out. So you have to take that from the factory and put it into the new bracketry. And then you hook all the new bracketry and everything like that to the trim bezel with the new trim, you know, with the new controls, whatever that comes with the kit. And then you have notes. So that's the steps as far as mounting, the actual physical mounting of it. And then you just obviously put everything, you just do in reverse of taking it apart and put it back together. That's straightforward crap. But alright, next thing I'll show you. So basically, this is the factory. It's already partially apart. I already have the trim bezel on the other one, but this is the factory actual, you know, unit with the CD player, tape deck, whatever. You'll see it in a second. So it has these connectors in the back that you pull off. You pull off these brackets here, hold the unit in place. So it basically pulled, you know, there's screws that go through the side of the bracket in the radio. So you pull it out, pull this off. So you can see the CD slot in the top, tape slot in the bottom. You got to disconnect this little ribbon, which is actually connects something to something. I don't know what the hell it does, but it does some kind of controls. It does some communicating. And then this is the back of the controls of the, you know, HVAC, radio controls, and all that crap in the center console area. So you'll see that here. So this is the factory unit. You got to do a better shot. So that's a factory unit. So obviously not using this. So that aside, so that's pretty straightforward. This you have to go onto the website for these people. There's instructions inside of the packaging and everything what to do. You go on their website, you look up your model car, and it tells you what wires to connect to what. I did call to verify just to make sure I was connecting the right wires to it. This is for the steering wheel controls for the radio, so it will integrate with the new radio. So I did all that. So as far as the wiring, I did call to also double check because I had a couple questions, but it has what wires do what, and the color, it's all color coordinated, so it tells you all the colors and it tells you what each thing is. So then you look in this guy that came with the radio, the Pioneer. Let me get this light back on, as you can see. Pioneer, and it does have, see right here, it's not quite as easily laid out, but you know, it depends on your radio, but it has what the different colors and what they do. So then you basically just connect the proper thing to the proper thing, and that's that. And then you plug all the plugs into the right spots, and you're good to go. The one extra thing that I put in that didn't really have too much to do with the radio, but I'm putting a car mount in the Murano. It's wired, so it's a magnetic charger. You see, car magnetic wireless charger. So I could hold my phone, mount the phone, and charge it at the same time. So I got a hardwire kit that was separate from this. I got a hardwire kit. I wired it in with the power and the ground of the radio harness, because there's power there and ground there anyway. And a couple things, you know, it says in the instructions, you'll see it says chassis ground. What you want to do with those chassis ground wires, you want to basically screw it to something metal, like a metal frame member, metal mounting point within the dash. So every car is different. You just got to find something and take a screw out and put it in, something like that. So I found one, you know, mounted that to the grounds in. But I just wired the ground in. I just soldered that into the other grounds to connect that, and then I wired the power into the other powers to connect that. And then I had a little wire with a micro USB that plugs into the back of this. You can kind of see the diagram a little bit. There we go. So this is where I mounted it to the dash. I can, you know, stuck it to the dash, and then this is the actual, you know, charger. The wire plugs into here, and this is magnetic to hold the phone. Yeah! You are looking at one happy bastard! Oh yeah! Got the radio in. Everything seems to be working. Yeah! Yeah! I got no words! No followers! Yeah! Oh, for such a long time, since I got this car, I don't know how long I got it. Maybe, you got it, a little less than a year ago or so, something like that. Around a year ago. Somewhere around there, I don't know. Probably, it's approximately a year. Maybe last September, October, something like that. So, and, I've been running around with the stock radio. No Bluetooth, no auxiliary port, no USB. So I haven't been able to really play, my music and, anything I really want to listen to on my phone or whatever. And nothing but CD players and tapes. I don't have tapes anymore. Who has tapes anymore? But CD player and, it's a pain in the D-I-Z-K. So pumped to have a real goddamn radio again. It's the simple things in life, folks. It's the simple things. All right. This was a big pain. This is a much more difficult. I'm not, obviously, it's not, fully installed yet. I ain't mounted, but as you can see, it is playing. I got the radio on right now. New Jersey radio. I'm from New Jersey.
Call now. 800-933.
It's commercial time, but you get the idea. Checked out the Bluetooth, that all works. So this is, I got a mic up here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. A mic, that's for Bluetooth for calls and whatnot, for my wonderful voice. So I ran that. I tucked it up under the headliner here, where the headliner meets the windshield. I tucked that under the headliner. I popped this guy off, the A-pillar cover. I popped this guy off. It just has a couple clips. You basically just have to carefully see where the joint is. A lot of Nissans are like this, so you just have to carefully get in here and pry. I use my plastic trim tools, so I, bust it. So you basically pop it off. There's like 3 clips that hold it in. Popped it off. Fed the wire down underneath the dash. Got it up behind the radio, so it's plugged into the radio. I do have, you can see down here, this is just a phone charger. That there, I'm not going to put it in yet. It's getting kind of late tonight, but I just have to, I have a phone mount that I'm going to put maybe right here or something like that. Just some 3M tape. So, but that's hardwired, so I'll plug right into it so it'll charge my phone. And then I got a little custom doodad here. I got my the white cord there is auxiliary, just in case who knows, I got a friend or something like that in the car that only needs auxiliary to plug their device, phone, whatever, if they have an Android, I don't know, whatever the case. They don't got Bluetooth work, whatever, I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's good to have. And I got the USB extension there, so that way I can plug my phone into the radio, so that way I can use the maps and whatnot. So the phone, I can use the Apple CarPlay, is what the terminology I'm looking for. I'm just so goddamn pumped! I'm pumped! Yeah! So, I just followed the wiring instructions that came with the kit. I get pretty much all my electronic stuff from Crutchfield. I'll put a link below to Crutchfield. I've been getting stuff from them for years. They have the best customer service out of almost any company, period. I've done, not just audio equipment or cars, but just any company, period. Their customer service is absolutely outstanding. Their technical assistance is very, very good. I did have to call them a couple times to get a little bit of assistance help with putting this in because I had a couple wiring questions. But basically you just follow directions, connect, I showed you how to solder earlier, so you just solder. I mean, you could use crimp connectors, but I'm a solder guy. I don't like things falling apart. I did crimp connector years ago on another car, and I was on a road trip, hit a few potholes, whatever the case, shook up the car a little bit. Next thing you know, radio don't work at all. I'm riding on a long road trip, no radio. So, I'm a solder guy. So I did the soldering, just put the wires, just follow the wire diagram, just, sat down, took my time, read it or whatever. I did have a couple questions, along the way, so I called them. They answered it perfectly for me. They're very, very helpful, very friendly. They also have decent pricing and competitive pricing. You're not going to find too much cheaper. Plus, anytime you buy like a head unit radio, you get an installation kit for your vehicle as well. So included for free. They include it for free if you're, as long as you buy the radio head unit from them, they give you a free installation kit for vehicle specific for your car, which has the wiring harness. It has, like a basic trim kit. This was a little bit more of an elaborate trim kit, so I did have to pay extra for this. This isn't the stock trim bezel. This brushed aluminum here. All these buttons this isn't the Nissan layout. So this whole aluminum piece, minus not the black piece, that is Nissan, but this whole aluminum piece is aftermarket. It's not Nissan. It does have like electronics built into it for all the controls and whatnot. It has wiring on the back. There's circuit boards in here, everything like that. So that's why it costs a little bit of money. Basic, but you can get a basic trim kit. They usually include that. Sometimes there's a couple tiny little accessories that are vehicle specific. They do include a lot of crap when you buy a radio from them. They have fast shipping. I got this stuff in, I don't know, 2 or 3 days maybe. So I mean, they're not Amazon Prime. Nobody is really when it comes to shipping, but they're pretty quick. They're as quick as any other company out there besides Amazon Prime. So they're fantastic. I'm not sponsored. I ain't getting no free crap for this, none of that, or whatever. Not that I'm against that. If you're listening, Crutchfield, hook a boy up. So I got that all together. Just follow the instructions. If you had questions, you can give them a call. They're very, very helpful, very, very friendly. They walk you through step by step. They basically hold your hand like you're a little child, because that's what I was acting like. I was acting like a little baby and just crying my head off. So yeah, that's your basic radio install. Every vehicle is different. I can't really give you instructions that are general. It's basically you have to take off the center console dash, whatever the hell is holding your stock radio in. You have to take that stuff off. All the time you have to take trim pieces off, whatever the case. And so taking this apart was very, very easy. Doing the wiring was a bit of a pain, because I also have the steering wheel controls. The steering wheel controls had issues before I even came along. Maybe it needs to learn. You know what? There is a starting sequence that I was supposed to do that I just never did. I'll see if that works. Whatever. I don't care. So I just got to throw this back up, just reverse of how I took it out, which I showed you earlier how to take it out. So that's your basic. Actually, kind of complicated. This is a little bit more difficult, more wire than most, because of the built-in climate controls and everything like that I had to get involved with. Normally you don't have to. Normally you just have the wire the wires that come out of the radio. It's usually like a clip that clips in the back of the radio from whoever manufacturer. This is Pioneer, so from Pioneer or from whatever manufacturer. You have those wires come out, and then Crutchfield does give you a wiring harness. I mean, you could buy a radio anywhere. You could buy wire harnesses wherever, but so basically you just you connect the wires coming off the radio with the wires for the wire harness. You solder all of them together. You follow our color codes, whatever the case, and then the wire harness, that's not Pioneer, that's not the radio, plugs into the factory harness. That's usually how it goes, and then you just put everything back together. It's usually pretty damn simple. Until you get into wiring up amps and subs and wiring new speakers and yada yada yada, all that crap. But I'm a basic radio guy. I just want basic music. I don't want to murder my eardrums anytime I'm driving anywhere. So that's how it's done. That's how you do it. That's how I did it. Back in my day, I walked uphill both ways in 2 feet of snow in the middle of August. That was my grandma, by the way. If you didn't know, that was my grandma impression. That's how my grandma talks. She's not alive anymore, though. That's next thing's coming up. Oh, don't forget to, down here, give me a good old subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. It helps me out. I appreciate it. Apparently it helps out the algorithm with the search on YouTube to be able to get more views, all that crap, and grow and whatnot, which, I'm hoping, people. I'm hoping. So don't forget to do that. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, comment, all that crap. I'll respond to your comments as long as they're not absolutely retarded. If they are retarded and they're humorous, I'll play right in. Why not? I can have a little bit of fun, have a little witty banter. even if it has nothing to do with me, nothing to do with the video. I'll go back and forth, but if it's just like bot type of stuff and it's just jibber jabber, makes absolutely no. I'm not gonna ignore that crap. But I do respond to my comments. You can look at my other videos. I respond to my comments. Also, check me out on TikTok. Check me out on Instagram. Check me out on Twitter, on Facebook. I am on Tumblr and Snapchat as well. Everything, all of it is the same. It's all soup to nuts. SOUPEDTONUTS. The links it's not really a link to TikTok because it's a mobile app and this is on the computer. I mean, it's going to be on the computer. It's in the camera right now, but I am going to put it into the computer. But all that information will be down in the description. I put it in all my videos. I put it in the description of all my videos, not actually in the video itself. Like, it's not. I do have a watermark here for my Instagram. I was thinking about putting down here, putting like a little TikTok logo as well, right next to the Instagram. They're the same handle, and I've been doing pretty good on TikTok. It's honestly a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's really fun. There are a lot of stupid, silly videos, goofy, funny. Almost, sometimes I cry, I laugh, I cry. I got it all for you. I got it all there for you, folks. So check me out there. It's a lot of fun. And I'm a fan of a lot of other people too. I follow other people. I'm not one of those people. Oh, I'm too special for you. So check me out on all that crap. Please give me a like, thumbs up, and all that crap. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to drive fast. Take chances.